Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear Dus?
Those left.
She left?
Yeah, she has arrived now.
Oh, okay. She said she's talking, but we can't hear her. I don't know if she has network
Yeah, relog.
issues.
Relog her.
Hello.
Hey, Dus.
Now I can hear you. I mean, you
Oh,
can hear me. Yeah.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I think it's a network issue.
Okay.
I'm just opening the document. Can't see the text now. Yes. Yes. I'm creating a new project here.
Okay.
Okay.
Java project. I give some name. Finish. Let me add that libraries. Build path. I can add libraries here. You can see there is an option here. Build path. User library. The Hibernate stuff. Finish. In this, I'll create the package. So whatever the package I have been using with our previous example, Hibernate demo, uh, Hibernate demo 2. Yes, I'll copy this complete package, okay, into my source. Similarly, I'll copy this Hibernate CFG configuration file also
Okay.
into my source. Right. Let me close this, or else it creates a confusion. Which files we are opening? Yes. Yes. In Hibernate configuration file. So the same properties I am not going to change. And here Hibernate mapping class it is. So last class we have seen the generator types of values. So increment, identity, sequence, high, low, assigned,
Yes.
GUID, UUID, right?
Right.
We will see it through annotations now, okay?
Okay.
So I say mapping then, right?
Yeah.
Mapping, mapping. So the mapping would be this is the mapping class. It's the same
Do you
mapping
mean the
class.
class?
Yes,
So we
mapping
have
class.
mapping. So we have
Yes,
to
mapping.
write class.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. Just a minute. With there is a employee, what is that? Employee.hbm.xml file. In this, I mean, in my previous project, we need to write resource. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
When we are writing the tags in employee.html XML file, we'll be writing resource.
Yes.
If you are writing with annotations, then it will be like this class. Okay.
Yes.
Because for this class, we are writing annotations. Right.
Mhm.
So my employee, okay. So here, I'll take a different class, user details class. Okay.
Okay.
User details. And I don't want this employee. Instead, I'll create user details class. Okay.
Okay.
So I need to copy this and rename here also, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes. And as of now, I'll remove these properties and I'll remove all this stuff. Yes. In my Hibernate test client, so we have to create that user details class. So whatever the stuff I copied, I am removing that. Okay.
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 In my user details class, I say this as entity from Java X persistence. This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it has int ID, private, username. It's string. It's string. Sorry. So I have two fields. To this, I'll create generate setters and getters.
Yes.
Done. And so in my class, model
ID.
class, is ID, right? Absolutely, ID.
Yeah.
And here table,
Table.
and we can give a name for this, right? So
Yes.
let's see
Yes.
without name and with name, all those things. Of course, we have already seen. So I'll give the
Yeah.
name here. Name equals to, I can give right. I can give. If we
Right.
don't give, it comes with this name, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fine. Now ID I have marked. Then I go to this Hibernate test client. I create that user details object. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To this user dot set ID and give some 100.
Mm-hmm.
User dot set username.
Mm-hmm.
So I say first username. Okay.
Okay.
And this I am saving. Session dot save.
User.
So the remaining piece of code you are already familiar with this configuration, everything, right?
Right.
Right.
Now I'm going to execute this so that an object would be created.
Create it.
Let me open MySQL Workbench. So the table name would be user details, right?
Yes.
User
Yes.
underscore details, I mean, because we
Yeah.
named it as user underscore details. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am running this test client. Just insert into, and here I need to change the feedback message to user object, right? User object,
Yeah.
sorry. User details object, better say. Yes. And let me, so in my Hibernate, okay, what is that? Hmm. The entity, in my entity, the ID is marked as ID with ID annotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am able to do this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now suppose I don't give the and here another thing to be noted is the Hibernate property HPM to DDL is set to create. Okay, every time it creates, so it drops and recreates the database schema on startup of this program. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, yes. And in my user details, okay, ID. Now I will comment this set ID. Okay.
All right.
I'm setting only username and I'm running this.
Yeah.
So the schema would be dropped and recreated.
Mm-hmm.
So user updates saved and look at the data. So it is giving 0. Okay.
Mm.
Oh.
Okay.
ID value it is giving 0.
Mm.
Suppose I create 2 objects. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
User 2, user 2, user 2. Okay. User 2. Okay. This
Yes.
thing. And session dot save. Oh, sorry. I need to do user 1 as well as user 2 to save, right? User 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Now observe what is happening. Yes. And second user I say, okay? Second user.
Mm.
I'm executing this. Yes. Observe that. So what is happening? A different object with the same identifier value was already associated with the session. So here what is happening is
Throws an error.
0. Yes. For the first user it gives 0, and for the second user also it tries to give 0.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
did not mention anything here. I just mentioned ID. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We did not mention any generator value, right?
Right.
For the second record also, it will try to give 0, where in the primary key there should not be a duplicate value, and it throws an exception that a different object with the same identifier was already associated, so it cannot give. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this case, if I go with my own user ID, okay,
Okay.
Okay.
I say 100 and 100, 101, I say, and 102. Previously, I commented this so that Hibernate will try to give value, right?
Yes.
Right.
Now I gave my manual IDs. Okay, both the objects are getting saved, and you can see user details table. And I did not add any annotations to username and ID. They remain same as the model class property names.
Yes.
Yes, they get inserted.
Yeah.
And you can have to notice that ID is the primary key yet.
Mm.
Yes. So with this, what is happening is we can create our own IDs, right?
Right.
Now, yes, I'll comment this, and I'll comment, oh, not this, sorry. Uh, this part I'll comment, and
Mm.
user 2 also I'll comment. I'll be inserting only
Mm.
one user, okay?
Okay.
Now, I'm going to my user details class, and I'm adding the annotation here. Generator, right?
Yeah.
You can see over there generated value Java X persistence. So
Okay.
generated value, I say in this strategy. So we can mention strategies, various strategies equals to, you can see here, is generation time. Okay, generation type. Sorry, type. Generation type dot. You can see here there are various types here. So auto. I'll choose auto. Okay.
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 So my auto. So I am telling the Hibernate to give the ID values here. Okay.
All right.
And I give auto, and let me execute this Hibernate test client. So here I'll comment my user dot set ID, and I'm expecting ID from Hibernate. Okay.
Okay.
User object save, and it is 1. Okay. ID is 1.
Yeah.
And I will uncomment this, and I will save 2 objects now. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll comment my set user ID with the second user also.
Yeah.
So I mentioned generator value as auto, and I am expecting the data that is IDs from Hibernate. Yes, 2 objects now I am saving, and I just change it accordingly, and I am back.
You didn't execute it. You didn't run.
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Executed, and you can see 2 insert statements firing.
Yeah.
And if you observe username details, it is 1 column is being filled.
Okay.
The ID column is missing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see it is giving 1 and 2 for IDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you mention generation type auto, automatically the value would be increased. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine then. I'll go for next. User details. So instead auto, I say identity. So what happens with identity sequence is, so with identity, some databases would be separating identity, right? I told you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that identity would be created by Hibernate, and that identity will be giving the values for our ID column. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Likewise, sequence. Oracle database would support sequence, right?
Yes.
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 So sequence will be giving the values. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Likewise, you can maintain a separate table for these primary keys, and this table would be, I mean, a separate table would be having the primary key values over there, and from that it fetches and gives. Okay, this is table. And let me go with identity here. Okay.
Okay.
I saved it. I am back to Hibernate client, and I am re-executing this. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. 2 insert statements fired, and you can see user details object saved, and I am going back, re-executing this. Okay, it is giving 1 and 2, similar to the auto. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Now I go for user details. and I go for sequence. Okay,
Okay.
sorry, and I execute this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, could not instantiate ID generated for the entity name this thing. Reason
Okay.
is my MySQL database will not support that.
Yes. Hmm.
That is why. Okay,
Yeah.
so recommended is whenever you are using ID generators, you keep auto so that Hibernate will be intelligently assigning the IDs
Yeah.
Okay.
based upon your database. Okay,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's about, and I'll change this to auto. Yes.
Okay.
So there are two columns. Okay, I'm done. So I'll talk about a few more columns. And here with username, we can give our own name also, right?
Right.
Column
Yes.
name
Name.
equals to, I say, user underscore name. Okay,
Name. Okay.
fine. So now my
Yeah.
intention is to embed a few more columns in my user table.
Yes.
So which talks about the various data type over there. So I
Okay.
have, yes. So I'll be putting the user some join date, string address, and string description. Okay.
Okay.
So I will use, sorry, private. It is date,
Hmm.
join date, and this date has to be imported from java.util. And I have private string join date. Then the other column is address. Yes, private string, then description. I want setters and getters. Source,
Yes.
select all, finish, done. So for this also, we can give the at column notation, annotation.
Yeah.
So name, I say join underscore date.
Hmm.
I copy this and I can give for address.
Address.
So I say user address and description. So user description it is. Right.
Right.
I'll execute this. Yes, you can see. So what is happening? User address, user description, join date, username are being inserted.
Noted.
Edit. Yeah.
Okay. The
Hmm.
thing is, We did not give any values for this user
Yeah.
address, user description, join date. So those are nulls, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we will try giving values, and with my user details class, not in my Hibernate test client.
Yes.
So I will talk about one user object,
Mhm.
and I'll comment the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
So onto this user, uh, I will set user dot set uh, join date. So I give today's date. Okay,
Yeah.
new date, and I need to import this date, of course.
Mm.
Java dot util date.
Mm.
Done. User dot set address.
Address.
So I will give user address. User address
Mm.
semicolon. User dot set description. Okay,
Mm. Yes.
it is user description. Done.
Mm.
So I have filled that four values except ID. It means ID is expected from Hibernate, and I mentioned
Yes.
generated value as auto, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Now I'll save this object. Okay, object is saved,
Yeah.
and let me execute this. ID is
Yeah.
one. So user address, user description, join date, and first username. Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
and if you observe here, let me take you to I'll store this. Describe user underscore details. This is the table we are working, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So ID, it's a int
Mm.
and it's primary key because ID we mentioned. And okay,
Yeah.
so when I said auto, it is considering auto increment over there.
Implement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then user address, which is of varchar 255. You can see over there,
Yeah.
it gave a size 255 characters. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
and user description varchar, and join date, if you observe, it is giving date time by default.
Mm.
Yeah.
So date is the Java date I gave as the data type for that.
Mm.
Then in database, the Hibernate is giving date time data type for the join date. Okay, by default. When I mentioned
Yeah.
just date. Okay, and username of course varchar. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Okay. Mm.
let me go back to save this. Okay, I will execute this. Okay, and date time in the sense it considers date, then time, hours, minutes, seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Now the thing is with my description. So with my description and in my user details class, with my description, So user description, the size is 255 by default given by Hibernate. Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose I want more than this 255 because description, user description maybe some lines, 10 lines, 15 lines, 20 lines, right?
Yeah.
So during that case, we can go for uh, lobe. You can see over there, large object. Are you aware of
Okay.
large objects, lobes?
No.
Oh, the thing is, it's important in Oracle when we talk about, I mean to say, the database side.
Okay.
Lobes. So let me introduce these lobes for you.
Okay.
Yes, this is your. So lobes. So lobe stands for large object. Large object. When you talk about large objects in the sense, they will be they are various types. Various types. That is B lobe, C lobe, B file, NC lobe. Okay. So
Okay.
B lobe stands for binary lobe. Binary large object it means. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then character
Okay.
large object. B file binary file.
Yeah.
Then native character lobe. Okay. So
Okay.
these are the data types available in Oracle environment as well as MySQL also they are valid.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what they say is character lobe large object. So they will be having a capacity character lobe. So here I have a file. Let me open. Yes. So large objects they support information up to 4 GB of information you can put.
Okay.
You can see the capacity 4 GB. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And there can be n columns allowed per table.
Okay.
They are native character lobe, sorry, C lobe, character lobe, which character data you can put. Okay.
Okay.
Native character lobe in the sense the native language text, maybe Japanese, Chinese text you can put. Okay.
Yeah.
Large amount of text. Binary
Mm.
file, it supports to store images into
Okay.
database. And
Yeah.
B file supports to store an operating system file, maybe Word file, where PowerPoint presentation, these things. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I'll copy this stuff for you for a reference.
All right. Thank you.
So this is actually from database. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to my program and I am marking my description as lobe there. Okay.
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 And I'll go to my Hibernate test client and execute this. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, it is created, and I'll execute this, and of course let me go back to description. Yes. So when I mentioned low for my description, you can see here now it is long text.
Long text.
Mm.
Okay.
So that you can give more number of characters over there. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I go back with low, low in my user details. So what happens is, the thing is with my loop, if the data type is string, we have seen it is long text.
Yes.
Suppose if the data type is
Yeah.
byte array, then it would be binary loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Here I mentioned the hints over there. Okay. Yes, that's what happens. So with loop. Okay. Now let us focus on join date. Join date. Yes. With join date, by default it is giving date and type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just writing that date time, data type.
Mm.
So I can have a control on it. Temporal. There is one attribute. So temporal. So over there you can see temporal. So here there is date, time as well as timestamp. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll choose timestamp.
Okay.
You can see how it is given. Temporal type dot timestamp with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am executing this. Okay. My Hibernate
Okay.
text client. So a data is inserted, and
Yes.
let me go for description. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Observe there,
Time.
join date is date time, right?
Yeah.
So by
Yeah.
default, whenever it is a date, it chooses a date time, which is nothing
Yes.
but the same as
The day.
in our timestamp. This thing, right?
Yes.
So this will
Okay.
be the same. So I'll write here. By default, it is date time, and we can come to a conclusion that even though you don't mention the temporal type, by default it gives date time. Got it?
Got
Got
it.
it.
Right. Now I go with the timestamp. I'll change it to date. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I changed it to date. And I am going back to my test client and executing this again. Okay. I am executing this. Yes. Object is inserted. And I'll go back, execute this description. Observe there, now it is date.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll show you the data. The data is,
Select.
so I'll
Okay.
copy this. I'll copy this.
Okay.
And it is date alone.
Ah,
So if you
okay.
want date alone, you can go like this. Temporal
Yeah.
type is date. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I'll go to my user details. I'll change it to time alone. Okay. Time.
Okay.
I'll save this. Go back to my test client and I'll execute this again.
Mm.
Okay. Data is inserted, of course. And I'll go back to MySQL and re-execute this. You can see time alone we are getting.
Yes.
And if I go to description, describe, time alone.
Mm.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Got it.
Right. So with my user details, temporal type, yes, that's what the temporal type thing. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to highlight few columns over there and I came out with these things. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
we will move with some other example. Yes, I'm done with this. And anything did I skip? Yes. One more thing I want to highlight here.
Okay.
Uh, there is a at basic annotation, okay, which can be used
Okay.
with the properties in a model class. So what this at basic will do is, so here you can see at basic will treat this property present in the model class as a column to be persisted into the database and applies the Hibernate defaults. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though you don't mention at basic, still what is happening is Hibernate defaults it is giving, right, the column
Yes.
name for that.
For
So
that, yeah.
right, at basic is one annotation which can be qualified with the property. Okay. And
Yeah.
another thing, suppose in your user model class, you are not interested to persist a columns, a column, a property, better say. I don't want to insert my
Mm.
username assume. Then
Mm.
you can mark that at property in the class as transient. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'll mark this one example transient. So I'll skip this date. Okay.
Mm.
So transient. I mark it as transient, and I go executing the Hibernate client.
Yes.
Observe there. Is that inserting
Mm.
now date?
Yeah. Mm.
No, right?
No. Yeah.
My insert statement. And when you go to
Mm.
here, description, right? I need select
Yeah.
operation. User address, description, username.
Yeah.
That's it. So I mark
Mm.
date, join date
As
as transient,
Transient.
and it is
Okay.
being skipped. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is an alternate way to do that. That is marking your property as static.
Okay.
That also will do the same. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these two things, yes, I had to highlight and I've done. Okay. That's what the description I gave here
Okay.
about transient. I'll share this file. You can read this. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Fine. Yes. So we have done with the primary key parts also. That is what generators, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have done with the generator, and I'll go with an example obtaining the data from database. Till now we have been inserting, right?
Yes.
We will obtain the data.
Okay.
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 And yes, I'll obtain the data in my Hibernate test client. In my Hibernate test client, you can see this user data is being stored, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, after this saving the data, after saving this data, I will give this user equals to null. Okay.
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 Now my user object is not pointing to anything, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now from my session dot there is get method which would
Yeah.
obtain a row from database table.
Okay.
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 So we are focusing on user details, one row, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It is nothing but for us in Java layers, it is user details model class, right? In the database, it
Yeah.
is user details table. From that
Mm-hmm.
table, one row I am expecting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to fetch one particular row. Then generally in the database, we write select star from so and so
From
table where
Yeah.
employee number
Where?
equals to so
Yeah.
and so, right?
Yes.
So
right.
here with the get method, I'll take the first argument is so I need to represent the I'm writing in the Java layer, right? Java. So I
Yeah.
need
Yes.
to talk in Java only. So I
Yeah.
say my user details. So I am expecting the user user row, right? So
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
saying user details dot class. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
And I am expecting one. The ID I gave one. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever the data is being inserted here, I want the data. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see get is returning an object.
Mm-hmm.
So I am holding that in this user, and of course I need to typecast it. Downcast it
Okay.
to user details.
Good.
Done. Okay.
Okay.
Then from this system.out.println, I say user
User.
name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From this user, get username. Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I'll execute this. And you can see here, yes, user details. Okay. Inserted. I
Username.
mean, one row is inserted. Okay. And you
Yeah.
can see username, it is obtaining for that one row,
Yeah.
Yes.
my one row, this ID.
Yeah.
And the username is first username. And I got this here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, got it.
Got
Got
it.
it.
So we use get method and
Okay.
pass two arguments over there. The first
Okay.
argument is what data, I mean what row we are obtaining from a table. So user details table, from that one row particularly we are given. So it is corresponding to our model class user details, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the user details object we populated with value. So prior to that I set null so that the user will be null and the fresh value would be here, which I obtained from database, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, that is how we do.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh, yes,
Why did you assign the user object to null?
the thing is, if I don't assign null here, if I
Mm-hmm.
don't assign null, and if I say user dot get first name, I gave the set property here, right? I mean set
Okay.
Right.
username. This value we are obtaining, and I already have this user object in my Java code.
Mm-hmm.
So there should not be confusion that I am obtaining from the Java layer or database layer. When I set to null, it means my user object, whatever I am setting the property is now does not have any values. Okay,
Oh, in Java.
as in Java, or
Okay.
else this property we may be obtaining, right, which I
Right.
set,
Mm-hmm.
but I am expecting from database, so I
Okay.
deliberately mentioned null over there.
Ah, okay.
Got
Okay.
it?
Got it.
Yes. Fine then. Okay. Yes, I am done with the extra things. Okay, okay, good, fine. Uh, uh, is it possible if we continue for some more time today? I
Sure.
mean, maybe I'm trying to execute two more samples, or possibly till 7. I mean, no, it is 6 a.m. now. Another 1 hour.
Mhm.
30,
Yeah, it works for
one
me.
hour. Yeah.
Is it okay for you both?
1 hour will be too long. One
1 hour?
hour will be too long for me. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
home, so
Oh,
can you take
then
30 minutes?
30 minutes, right?
Yes.
Fine then. All right. All right. I should have
Okay.
informed you earlier so that we can have plan.
Okay.
Fine then. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Yes. So the thing is, my intention. Yes. Yes. So here we have seen the user object with ID, name, address,
Mm.
some phone, some data of birth, assume. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you observe here, uh, the address is another object which has properties street, city, state, pin
Oh,
code.
okay.
So there may be possibility, right? Because in Java we can associate other objects into our classes,
Yes.
Yeah.
has a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So my user object has address object. So there may be a
Yes.
case, right? Sure. So how do we address this? So we have seen address as a string previously.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
could insert one column here.
Yes.
So if the address is an object, that is my user class is referring to another class object here, it is associating the address object which is having further properties like
Mm.
street, city, state, phone number.
Yes.
Yes. So here we call this as value types, we say. So the thing is, so we need to address this kind of thing.
Yes.
Then, so my address here, you can see the general properties like ID, name, phone, date of birth will be converted into the corresponding columns in the user table, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And this address is a question mark here. We need to discuss this. So here,
Yeah.
so each property in the model class goes into a column, our assumptions. And
Yeah.
if a property is an object, maybe
Mhm.
an array or maybe a list, then how to save this?
Mm.
So here, a simplest way the Hibernate provides is each member of the address object as a separate column in the table, assuming no address object. So the thing is, address is an object and it has further properties.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hibernate provides one simple solution for this. The thing is, don't assume this address as an object. Instead, put this street, city, state, pin code as
Mm.
if they are properties of user.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see the solution here.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? ID, name, street. So address is now which
I got
comprises
one.
of street, city, state, pin code is becoming the column, that is
Yeah.
address object members are becoming columns in the user table.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So this is a solution provided by Hibernate, simple solution. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
even this solution really doesn't look good. Generally, in the database, what happens is we can maintain a separate address table, right? And we can
Right.
mention there one user may be having 5 addresses. So office address, residence address, home address, right?
Right.
Right.
So over there, we can in the database generally we have primary key, foreign key relationships, and
Yeah.
address table can be considered as a separate table.
Yeah.
And in our user table, we can maintain address ID as a foreign key, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So as of now, we will begin with this solution provided by Hibernate. Okay,
Mm.
Okay.
this is one of the solutions, simplest solution. Fine. Yes. The thing is, this will work if address object is a value object. So the thing is, I want to talk about two things here. One thing. Value types, we say. So we are discussing the value type here.
Mm-hmm.
This address whatever I am embedding in my user class. So user
Mm-hmm.
address object, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this can be considered as a value type here. So here, yes. What do you mean by value object? That is value object. And what do you mean by entity? I already told you that user details is an entity, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And a new thing I am getting into the picture, value object here, which is address for us as of now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So here,
Mm.
the solution, whatever is suggested by Hibernate, when you embed an address object into user object, so this solution, that is all the 4 columns, better say 4 properties present in my address are now treated as columns that are present in the user table itself. That is user model class
Mm.
itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I suggested with this. Okay. So this
Yeah.
Okay.
solution is given when the Hibernate treats this address as a value object, and value object means, I'll give you one example. Uh, Here I just say just address. I just say address. I just say address. When I say address, is it a meaningful one? Address of whom? It does not describe. It just say address.
Yeah.
It's not meaningful, right? It does not make sense, right? It's not full,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this address is giving a value for whom? User. User's
Yeah.
address, Emma's address, Do's residence address. Got it?
Yeah. Yes.
So this address is giving a value for another object. So it is
Yes.
giving a value for an entity, user details entity, right?
Right.
So the value objects. So the street, city, state, phone, state, pin code, these things. So will not be giving an appropriate meaning unless they are associated with some other objects, right?
Right.
So when we say independently this address street, city, state, pin code, these things will not be making sense. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so this address can be called as value object, which is giving a
All right.
value to my entity class.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, this address members, street, city, state, pin code are dependent on some other object, right? Like user
Right.
object, MR's address. So I have highlighted here. Likewise, user details. So MR details or those details or my details. So they are independent. So entity is an independent and has data which gives meaning on its own. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas address, it does not have a meaning on its own. I say just address object. Whose address? I am not mentioning. Then it is meaningless,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Address object will provide meaning to some other objects. Okay.
Okay.
So address alone will not be having a meaning on its own. It
Yeah.
gets meaning when it is associated with some other objects. Okay.
Yes.
Done. This is one of the important interview questions. Sometimes they may ask you what is the difference between value object and entity. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So I am going back to my. So I'll write another sample here. I don't want to make code changes in the existing one because already I have put a number of things. So I'll go for next Java project.
Okay.
So I say HBJB demo 2. Finish. And I'll add the libraries. Configure build path. Add library. Hibernate. Finish. Okay. And I'll copy from my previous sample all these things. Paste and Hibernate config also. I'll close all this. I'll open from my the recent project. So with my user details, I'll remove all this unwanted stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Username, okay. And yes. And I'll remove their corresponding getters and setters also. Yes. Now I have address. So I need to create an address class, right? So private address. So I say a name from address, and I need to create a class. So address cannot be resolved. Create a class. Yes, create a class. And
Excuse me, Ahmed.
yes, yes.
I'm obliged to leave.
Oh, is it
I
so?
will
Then
watch. Yeah, you
no, no,
can
no, no,
continue.
no. Is it okay if you are comfortable watching this video? I'll
Yeah,
continue, or else I'll suspend the session and we'll continue tomorrow.
no, you can continue, and then I'll watch the video and I'll ask you the questions tomorrow if I find any query about it.
Good then. All right.
Mm,
That would be fine,
okay.
so that we can continue this. I'll finish this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. I'm sorry
Welcome.
for this.
No
Yeah.
issues. No issues.
Okay.
Yes. So those left. Is it those or Emma?
Those left, Emma is staying.
Okay. Yes, I create an address class. Finish. And in my address, I say private street, private string, yeah, spelling, city, state, and private string, zip code. And I need setters and getters for this.
Yes.
Yes, I am done with this now. So, this address, and in my user details, I want setters and getters for this address. Okay.
Yes.
So source setters and getters. I'm done. Okay. Now the thing is, so here, so my address is another object in user details.
Yeah.
So in my address class, in my address model class, I'll say this as yes. You can see over there embeddable.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is embeddable, I say.
Yeah. What
So
does
this
it mean?
address is embeddable. Okay.
Mhm.
So here I'll execute this without mentioning embeddable. Okay.
Okay.
In my Hibernate test client. So join
Yeah.
date description I don't need. And I am setting So I need to create an address, right?
Yeah.
Address equals to new. Okay. And home address dot set street.
Yeah.
So I say the value
Yeah.
home, 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 uh, home street, I say, home street.
Yeah.
Likewise, home address set city,
Yeah.
home city. Home address set state, home state,
Okay.
set zip code, home zip code. Yes. Now I will on this user set home address and this home address, right? Done. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now I'm executing this. Something went wrong. So could not determine the type for address at table
Mm-hmm.
user details. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll go to my address and I'll mark this as embeddable object in my. So embeddable I say. Where I am embedding I did not say. So
Yeah.
wherever you are using this address in your classes, there it gets
Mm-hmm.
embedded, there it gets embedded. Okay.
Oh. Yes.
I'm using user details class. There may be some another class, model class, maybe using the same address class. Then
Yeah.
if you have a reference to this as like this, then automatically it gets embedded.
Yeah.
Now I execute this, okay? You can observe here insert statement, insert into user details, city, state, street, zip code and username.
Yeah.
And I'll take you to user details object here
Mm-hmm.
and you can see home city, home state, home street, home zip code and the
Yeah.
first user. Of course, the generator type is auto, so it is giving ID 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So my solution, the simple solution, when address as a value object to the user, so this is the solution and it's done,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Right. Now, yes, I'm done. So, okay. The thing is, okay. So here, the thing is, the address variable, the thing is, address object is embeddable and it is being embedded into user details
Yeah.
class. So, in user details class, I can say this address is being embedded here.
Yeah.
Okay, from Java
Yes.
Expert Systems. Okay,
Yeah.
so even though I did not mention, what happened was the address object is embedded, right?
Yes, right.
So I'll execute again this, okay? After
Yes.
mentioning the embedded annotation. Yes, it is executing. Okay, got it.
Yeah, got it.
And I re-execute this. Of course, the same thing remains. So I want to highlight one thing here.
Mm-hmm.
In my user details model class, this home address, even though you don't mention this embedded, so
Okay.
by default, what happens is it goes to address class, and it looks
Yeah.
embeddable here, and automatically
Mm-hmm.
it gets embedded into my user details model class.
Yeah.
So mentioning this or not is okay, right?
Yeah.
So by default, what is happening is this address object is being embedded, okay? Because the reason is
Okay.
in address model class, we have to mention embeddable. Because if we didn't mention, you can see my first execution throw an error, throw an
Yeah.
exception to address
Yes.
cannot be identified in the user class itself, right?
Yeah.
Got it now?
Yeah, I got it.
Right. Yes. And in my Hibernate test client, so I don't want these stuff. So I'll remove this stuff also. User null those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, uh, yes. This user has home address. Okay. And let me take you to user details. Now, the user has, assume the user has private another address object,
Mm-hmm.
office address. Okay.
Okay.
So what should happen with another office address as an embedded object in user details?
Yeah.
So what should happen? So with
I'm not sure.
one embedded object, this is what happened, right?
Yes. Yes.
In the table. Now, suppose I say another that is, as of now it is home state. All right. Now, if I
Yes.
say office address, then it has to create same columns with name, right? State, that is state, city, say, sorry, street, city, state, pin code in the same table.
Yeah.
So in one table, you cannot have duplicate columns, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then this becomes an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have unique column names for our office address then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
that office address columns also gets inserted into this table column.
Yeah.
So I don't say inserted, added. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do that. So
Yeah.
we can do that using an option. So you see, without that solution, I just try to embed this object. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you mentioned that embedded or not, it has to work, right? Because by default, the address is embeddable here. So this also
Yeah.
should work, right?
Right.
So I'll just do this. So I'll generate a setter and getters for this. Done. And in my Hibernate test client, I'll create an object for this. I mean to say another object, address object. So I create another object.
Yeah.
Now I say office address. And I say yes,
Yeah.
and user dot set office address, right?
Office address. Yes.
Yes, semicolon at the end. And I'm saying the method set office address is undefined.
Yeah.
Okay, let me save this. No, it's okay because I generated address and getters and I did not save that file. So
Yeah.
now you can see there are no errors and I'm executing this.
Okay.
Yes, you can see here repeated column in mapping for entity. So
Oh.
here, so this embeddable object in my user details will also try to create the columns state, city, these things. Okay,
Yeah.
got it? So when it tries to
Got it.
create, already there are these columns for one address, right?
Yeah.
So it tries to create, then that becomes repeated columns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is why it is not allowing. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
In this address also, we can mention the column type, column, and I can give name here also.
Yeah.
I can say
Okay.
uh, user street. I say
Yeah.
likewise I can mention column name
User city.
user city user state.
Okay.
User zip code, right?
Right.
I have given the column names and
Mhm.
I'll go back to Hibernate test client and whatever the thing I have done, I'll comment this because this is giving an
Yeah.
exception.
Yes.
Now one address is being saved, right?
Right.
I'll execute this. Oh, something. Okay, okay. And then this some portion I did not. So what happened here? Repeated column. Okay, I need to comment in my this also, right?
Yeah.
Right. Done. Done. I'll execute this. Observe that I gave the column names user city, user state, user street, zip code,
Yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello, Ahmed?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, there was a network disturbance. Okay.
Okay.
So I
Hello? Hello?
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
That is network disturbance. So I am
Alright.
repeating the point which I just told. So one thing
Okay.
is, for an embeddable object also we can give the column names.
Yes.
So by using column annotation, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right. Now I am going back. So my intention is to embed two addresses for user.
Yeah.
One is
Yes.
home address and the other one is office address. In that
Yeah.
case, when I try to add this office address, an embeddable object, then it was throwing error exception
Yeah.
that repeated columns, right? Because
Alright.
Hibernate will try to create your user city, user state, user street, user zip code for the other embeddable object,
Yeah.
where in database it is not possible, right?
Yeah.
So this has to be addressed. Now I'll
Mm-hmm.
uncomment this and I will write. So this can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will uncomment this also and I'll uncomment this also. So to the previous things, okay? Yes,
Yeah.
no errors in my program.
Mm-hmm.
So I will address that using so attribute override
Oh, okay.
at the rate attribute. You can see over there attribute override.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'll
no.
take this. I'll take this and here. So the column. So the column name. So column name. So here for the office address, for the home address there will be four properties: street,
Yeah.
city, state, phone. Not phone. It is zip code. Likewise for
Okay.
office address also there will be street, city, state, zip code. Right?
Yeah.
In that I am giving which column we are going to do that. Right?
Right.
Street. Okay. Then for this I'll say the column annotation at column equals to So I am giving name. So I say, so it is user city, user state, user street, and user zip code, the columns that are
Yeah.
available with my user table. Now I
Yes.
say user office street.
Yeah.
Okay. And the value annotation must be some JavaX persistence. And what did this column I imported from? Yes, okay. Uh, so name column, okay, column I should put. Hmm. And I'll give a comma here. Duplicate attribute column, okay, and it is name, I guess. Name, right. Yes. All right. I'm just correcting that. Attribute
Right.
override. I'm overriding an attribute. The
Mm-hmm.
the street should come out with a user office street in my user details table for
Yeah.
office address. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I cannot write this attribute override again for state, city, phone. So I cannot do a copy paste and write this here.
Yeah.
Instead, we need to put them in attribute attributes overrides. There is a method, right? Sorry, there is an
Yeah.
annotation, right?
Yes.
So I will use that attributes overrides.
Okay.
Uh, just hold on. Just hold on. I'll be back.
Okay.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
So I cannot give another attribute override here for us because there are four properties:
Mm-hmm.
city, state, phone. So I have to put them inside attribute overrides. So I'll do that. So I will format this properly. Yes, here goes. I say attribute attribute overrides, and I will open this, close this here, and I'll put all these in flower base. And this is one, and I'll copy paste this for city,
Yeah.
state, zip code. Okay,
Zip code. Yes.
city, and I'll give it as user office city.
City. Yeah.
Okay, then state,
Yeah.
user office state, and zip code,
Yeah.
and it is user office zip code. Done.
Yeah.
Yes. Now what happens is these columns for office also would be embedded into, I mean to say it would be added into the database table user details. Got it?
Wait. Yeah.
Yes. I'll execute this now. Observe here with my insert statement. User city, user state, user street, user zip code for one address. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
When I try to insert another address of user previously without attribute overrides, it was giving an error, repeated column, because Hibernate is trying to give the same column names for office address also. Exception.
Yes.
Yes. Got it? To follow.
Excuse me. Come again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I have followed everything you
Yes.
said.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Ahmed. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Right, 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 right. So what I was telling you is, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes. I'll continue now. Hello, shall I continue now?
Yeah, you can continue.
So one address object embedded, and with address object we can give the properties of address a different name,
Yeah.
in the columns. So I gave
Yeah.
it user city, user state, user street, user zip code. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, embed second Hibernate is trying to columns, which address, that is,
Hello, I cannot hear you well.
but in database, okay.
I cannot hear you well.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I am there, but I cannot hear you well.
Yes, I repeat.
Okay.
Me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. You
Can
can
you hear
continue.
me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yes. So I was
Okay.
highlighting when I try to
Okay.
insert, better say when I try to embed, yes, I can do. So when I try to insert us, when I try to embed a second address for the user, during
Okay.
the time Hibernate is trying to give for the second address also same columns in the table,
Yeah.
where the database will never agree to give the duplicate columns in the table,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Right.
So for office address, write the column names with a new column
Yeah.
so that you can see user office site city zip office. Okay, these new names. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
Yes, I'm listening.
hello,
Yeah.
and I'll show you the data here.
Yeah, I'm seeing the data.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll execute the yes. That is how we handle objects in one user model class. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right then. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Is that clear?
Yes, it is clear. You can send us
Hello.
the sample. We can practice with it.
So is that clear? The columns.
Yeah. Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, sure, sure. We are getting in a soft copy. to you if you don't practice. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Then fine then.
Fine.
See you tomorrow at
At the same time?
this time. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I was asking at the regular time.
Next session at 7 a.m.
Okay. All right.
No, 7 a.m.
Okay. I got it.
Please look at the chart feed.
Yeah, I got it.
Reply me and chat.
Come again.
Okay then. See you tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.